From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Lisa Laporte. The early impacts of U.S. tariffs are expected to be detailed today by Statistics Canada. The agency will report on real gross domestic product figures for March and for the first quarter as a whole. The White House started a fight to keep hitting countries around the world with tariffs after a federal appeals court temporarily paused a decision from the U.S. Court of International Trade. The lower court's decision this week found that U.S. President Donald Trump exceeded his authority by using an emergency powers law to impose sweeping tariffs. Here's reporter Stephen Portnoy.
The judges of that court said that Wednesday night's ruling by the court in New York is going to be paused, at least temporarily, as both sides, both the Trump administration and the small businesses and states that filed suit, put forward their early filings in this appeal.
The new court ruling means Trump can keep collecting his tariffs on Canada and most other countries. Police in southern Ontario say a teenaged boy is in custody after a fatal attack on an elderly woman in the city of Pickering. Durham Regional Police Chief Peter Moriera says the arrest came hours after an emergency alert was issued, warning nearby residents not to leave their homes during a manhunt.
We've arrested a 13-year-old male from Pickering, and he's been arrested by our tactical support unit without incident.
The victim was reportedly outside her home Thursday afternoon when an apparent stranger approached her and stabbed her. The Crown is set to cross-examine today one of 5 former World Junior Hockey players accused of sexual assault in London, Ontario. Carter Hart took the stand in his defense yesterday after the Crown finished presenting its evidence in the case involving the alleged sexual assault of a woman at a London hotel room in June of 2018. And Margaret Atwood says it feels very weird to see reality mirror The Handmaid's Tale as the dystopian series comes to an end. The series has often felt reflective of real-world politics since its debut, especially during Donald Trump's U.S. presidency.
Trump won the first time in 2016 when we were in the middle of shooting season 1. And we all woke up the next day and said, we're in a different series. Although they changed nothing about that first script, the frame changed and people viewed it way differently from the way they would have viewed if Hillary Clinton had won.
The show, adapted from the Canadian author's 1985 novel and filmed largely in and around Toronto, aired its final episode on Crave this week. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the Oilers are off to another Stanley Cup final after beating the Dallas Stars Thursday to win the NHL's Western Conference Final Series. Canadian Press reporter Joshua Clipperton says a familiar opponent awaits them.
Florida jumped out to a 3-0 lead in last year's final. Edmonton then ripped off 3 consecutive victories, largely on the back of McDavid's record-breaking playoff performance before the Panthers won Game 7 on home ice.
Game 1 of the Cup final goes Wednesday in Edmonton. It was a blowout in Major League Baseball as the Toronto Blue Jays hammered the Oakland A's 12-0. Ernie Clement and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. both hit homers during the game that marked Toronto's 4th straight at-home win. And the New York Knicks are still alive in the NBA postseason. They beat the Indiana Pacers 111-94 in Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Final. The Pacers now have a 3-2 series lead. From the Canadian Press, I'm Lisa Laporte.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.